Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Good morning, student. Recently you have appeared to a monthly test. I will provide you the answer sheet at the ending part of this lecture so that you can find out your mistakes. However, today I will discuss about the fundamental rules of narration. So boys, today's topic is narration. Okay. Narration refers to a speech. The word narration comes the Latin word narrate, that means relating or telling something to somebody. Narration is of two types: direct narration and another one is indirect narration. Direct narration. In direct narration, we just quote the exact word of a speaker without making any change in it. Here we use comma quotation for the reported speech. Example number 1. Barney said, "I read the Holy Quran every day." Here, "I read the Holy Quran every day" is reported speech. Number 2. Jennifer said, "I want a pen." Here, Jennifer said is the reporting speech. Number 3. Nancy said to me, "I am beautiful." Here, said to is the reporting verb. Number 4. Nancy said to Connor, "I must leave the place now." Here, must leave is the reported verb. Number B. Indirect narration. But in the indirect narration, we modify the speech of our speaker in our own way in order to report it to other person or people. Here, we leave out the comma quotation and use that as conjunction, and we must change the persons. Example: Bonnie said that she read the Holy Quran every day. Jennifer said that she wanted a pen. Nancy told me that she was beautiful. Number 4. Nancy told Connor that she had to leave the place then. A note: the use of that as conjunction after the reporting verb in the reported speech is optional. Okay boys, rules for the change of personal pronouns. Pronouns are changed according to a rule designed as sum, where S stands for subject, O stands for object, and stands for no change. 1. First person changes to subject of reporting verb. Number 2. Second person changes to object of reporting verb. Number 3. There is no change if it is a third person. Okay, let's interpret it. Rule number 1. First person pronoun of reported speech is changed according to the subject of reporting verb. Example: she says, I am in 10th class." Here, reported speech subject I is a first person, and it changes according to the subject of reporting verb. Says is the reporting verb and its subject is she. Okay. In direct speech, she says that she is in 10th class. Direct, I say I am an honest man. Indirect, I say that I am an honest man. Rule 2. Second person pronoun of reported speech is changed according to object. Remember it, object of reporting verb. She says to me, you have done your work. Here, in reported speech, you, which is a second person pronoun, is changed according to the object of reporting verb, that is says, and object is me. Okay, let's see in indirect speech. She tells me that I have done my homework. Here, I. Direct speech. She says to her, you have done your work. Indirect speech. She tells her that she has done her work. Direct speech. I say to them, you have done your work. I tell them that they have done their work. Rule number 3. Third person pronoun of reported speech is not changed. Okay. He says he does not work hard. In direct speech, he says that he does not work hard. Here, third person pronoun of reported speech is not changed. Direct. Another example, direct speech. Everybody says they have spoken the truth. In direct speech, everybody says that they have spoken the truth. Rules of change of verb or tense. Rule number 1. If reporting verb is given in present or future tense, then there will be no change in the verb or tense of reported speech. Example, direct speech. The teacher says Gayatri performs on the stage. In direct speech, the teacher says that Gayatri performs on the stage. Here, teacher says is a present indefinite tense, present tense, and there will be no change in the verb or tense of reported speech. Another one, direct speech. The teacher is saying Gayatri performs on the stage. In direct speech, the teacher is saying that Gayatri performs on the stage. Let's see another example. Direct speech. The teacher will say Gayatri is performing on the stage. The teacher will say that Gayatri is performing on the stage. Rule number 2. If reporting verb is given in past tense, then the tense of the verb of reported speech will change into corresponding past tense. Example, direct speech. The teacher said, I am suffering from fever. Indirect speech. The teacher said that she was suffering from fever. Direct speech. She said to me, I took the breakfast in the morning. Indirect speech. She told me that she had taken the breakfast in the morning. Okay, boys. Corresponding changes to past form in an indirect speech from the verb in reported speech. I mean, necessary changes in tenses. Direct speech, present indefinite tense changes to past indefinite tense. Indirect speech, present continuous tense changes to past continuous tense. Present perfect tense changes to past perfect tense. Past perfect continuous tense changes to past perfect continuous tense. Present indefinite continuous tense changes to past perfect continuous tense. Past indefinite tense changes to past perfect tense. Past continuous tense changes to past perfect continuous tense. Note: past perfect tense and past perfect continuous tense in the reported speech do not undergo any change with the exception of persons. Okay, necessary changes in words. The words showing nearness of time or place are changed into words showing distance in the following ways. Direct, that changes to indirect, that. These changes to those. Here, there. Ago, before. Come, go. Thus, so. Hither, thither. Here, there. Again, direct. Today changes to that day in indirect speech. Tomorrow, the next day. Yesterday, the previous day. Last month, the previous month. Tonight, that night. Last night, the previous night. Next week, the following week. Now, then. Okay, let's see some examples. He said, I went to the theater last night. He said that he had gone to the theater the previous night. He said, I am having a party next week. Direct. He said that he was having a party the following week. Indirect. He said, I am staying here until tomorrow. Direct. He said that he was staying there until the next day. Indirect. Ronnie said, I came over from London 3 years ago. Direct. Ronnie said that he had come over from London 3 years before. Indirect. Okay, boys, types of sentences. Repeating interrogative sentences. If any interrogative sentence commences with just an auxiliary verb rather than the interrogative pronouns or adjectives or adverbs, we use if or whether. Or if there is a yes-no question in the direct speech, then the reported speech will start with whether or if, and the reported clause from form will be subject plus verb. Example, direct. Peter said, "Are you from Australia?" Indirect. Peter asked if I was from Australia. Direct. Tom asks, "Do you want to sit here?" Indirect speech. Tom asked whether I wanted to sit there. Rule number 2. In indirect speech, question starting with who, whom, when, how, where, and what, the WH word would be the subject or the object of the reported clause. Let's interpret it by some examples. Direct. Brad said, "Who will come with me?" Indirect. Brad asked who would go with him. Direct. Tina said, "What will be the charges?" Indirect. Tina inquired what the charges would be. Direct. I said the man, "Where is the hotel?" Indirect speech. I asked the man where the hotel was. Direct. Mother said, "How is the chicken?" Indirect. Mother asked me how the chicken was. Okay. Rule number B. Reporting statement sentences. In a statement speech, we will use that before the reported statement, and the reported verb will be told, followed by an object, and said will not be followed by an object. Example, direct. Edward said, "I like the book." Indirect. Edward said that he liked the book. Direct. Alice said, "I want you to sing." Indirect. Alice told me to sing. Reporting imperative sentences. We will use "to" as joining clause before the reported command or request, and the reported verb will be changed according to the moods of the sentence, e.g., ordered, request, urged, advised, forbade, or begged. Example, direct. The man said, "Please bring me a chair." Indirect speech. The man requested to bring him a chair. Direct. The officer said, "Fall back." Indirect speech. The officer ordered to fall back. Direct. Mother said, "Listen to your elders." Indirect. Mother advised me to listen to my elders. Direct. Mr. Murphy said, "Do not go near the house." Indirect. Mr. Murphy forbade going near the house. Reporting exclamatory sentences. To change direct exclamatory speeches to the indirect one, we need to replace interjection "hurrah, wow, alas, oh, etc." with joining clause "that" and the exclamatory WH words, what, how, will be placed by very before the adjective in the reported clause. Examples: direct, Tari said, "Hurrah! Barcelona won the match." Indirect, Tari exclaimed with joy that Barcelona had won the match. Direct, I said, "Alas, my pet died." Indirect speech, I exclaimed with grief that my pet had died. Number E. Reporting optative sentences. We use wish or pray in the optative sentences in the place of said to or said. Examples: direct, my grandfather said, "May you live long." Indirect, my grandfather said, my grandfather wished that I might live long. Direct, the teacher said to the boy, "God bless you." Here, optative sentence without may. Indirect, the teacher prayed for the boy that God might bless him. Direct, he said, "Would that I were there." Indirect, I wished that he had been there. Direct, they said, "Oh, that we had won the match." Indirect, they wished that they had won the match. Note: would that and "oh that" are removed in the indirect speech. Okay, boys. Answer of previous homework. Number 1. Let's check it out. Number 2. Okay, boys. Today's homework: write an application to the principal of your school for enhancing library facilities. To be learned. Okay. Answer of empty 1. Dear students, I have something to say. In answering tag question, some of you don't write full sentence. Those who don't write full sentence, their half mark is forfeited or deducted for each, as I have discussed about it in the class or in my lecture. Oh, another thing, some of you don't use question mark properly. If you don't do such kind of mistakes, your answer will not be accepted. Okay, question number 1. The answer of A: strategy is more important than any other thing in the exam. B: a student should not elaborate any answer in the exam. C: on his getting the question paper, he should read it carefully. Number D: At first glance, the question may not seem easy. Number E, a student should attempt to answer all the questions, okay, so that he can or could get good marks. Number F, the examiner becomes glad to see all the questions answered by an examinee. Number G, not answering at all is not as good as it. Number H, how sensible it is. Number I, time should not be wasted by doing it. Number J, follow this process or you cannot bring a good result. Number 2, tag question. Nothing is impossible, is it? I think everybody knows it, don't they? The ideal always lag behind, don't they? Let's motivate them, shall we? Motivation seldom goes in vain, does it? Okay. Question number 3, connectors. Number A, when or why or since or as. Number B, when. Number C, then. Number D, nor. Number E, but, mainly, specially, above all. Dear students, you have already got your marks, MTS marks, and that's all for today. Thank you.